So I thought I'd better do a short video just kind of explaining a little bit more about the project and why I wanted to do the project really. It amazes me how popular photography is, and yet it's not really shown on TV that much. There's not, even just general photography I'm talking about, you don't see much. So I thought there's certainly scope to do a series on wildlife photography, because it's arguably one of the most popular forms of photography. Every time I go around a nature reserve, a country park, or anything like that, there's always someone, or multiple people really, with a camera, whether it's a bridge camera or a compact, or just on your phone, tapping away at nature, the landscapes and whatever. So I knew that's what I wanted to do. The trick was trying to find a balance, or the trick is going to be trying to find a balance, because it would be very easy for me to make it a vastly technical series and really go in depth onto things like histograms, dynamic range and things like that, which to photographers might seem relatively simple, professional photographers, but if you're a newcomer to it, it's quite a lot to take in, and also we'd have a fairly small amount of time to get the message across. So that's why we're really going to try and avoid doing the really technical stuff, because it's going to go over a more general audience's head, and we want to try and make this as appealing to as many people as possible. So we want it to be really from anyone who's kind of Instagramming their sandwiches to sort of full frame 500mm cameras, and everyone in between basically can sit down and watch this and get something out of it. So, you know, whether it's simple tips, hints, ideas, locations to visit and things like that, it should appeal to a broad spectrum of photographers. We are sponsored as well, quite fortunately, by Affinity. So they're a fantastic software company, and they're based in Nottingham, so I'm quite good that they're local to me, and they have donated funds to us already. What the crowdfunding is for is to bolster that, so we're a bit more comfortable with the series, so that we can just pay for filming costs, editors, cameramen, travel and all that sort of thing. Affinity, I may even do a video about Affinity specifically, but they're a brilliant piece of software. I've been using them for a while now, really simple to use, high quality for the editing and whatnot, and they're a lot better value than Adobe. In terms of the rewards we've got, the first 30 people who back us will get a free copy of Affinity for Windows or Mac. So, I mean, at the minute, I think they've got 25 copies left, and we've had 5 backers or something like that. So, no matter what reward you get, whether it's the lowest one, the highest one, you will get a copy if you're in the first 30 backers. So it's well worth donating just for a free copy of Affinity and having a go and seeing if you like it. We've also got PhotoSpeed who are involved, and they are donating prints or printing pictures. So whether you would like one of my own prints, or if you're a photographer, you can also send one of your pictures and get that printed. So some of the rewards have prints involved in it. Weird Fish are involved as well, the clothing company, and they do a little bit more trendy outdoor clothing. Not that I particularly, if you look at me, think of myself as trendy, with beard and scruffy hair, but they're involved. And Opticron are also offering discounts in the reward section for some of their optics stuff. So there's a whole reward with just discounts available. So again, another great reward to go for. We were thinking that if we wanted to cover more technical stuff, we could set up a YouTube channel. So we are developing that at the minute, where we can have more technical aspects on wildlife photography, reviews, some of the techniques and things like that. I probably wouldn't front that. So it would be a case of finding someone else to front the YouTube channel. So again, if that sounds of interest to you, get in touch. And in the whole series, we're always looking for collaborators. So get in touch if you think this is something you'd like to be a part of. If the series does get commissioned, and we go to lots of different places, we're going to need a lot of photographers to feature, and a good crew. So yeah, feel free to get in touch. Shetland really was my only choice. For somewhere to go, because I thought, let's start big. You know, it would have been much easier for me to do something locally in Nottinghamshire or the Peak District or something, but I thought, no, let's go for Shetland. It's an amazing place. I was lucky to visit it a couple of years ago, and it really resonated with me. It's a beautiful, strange place, and I'm working with Shetland Nature, so again, they're helping vastly in finding the species, the locations and whatnot. And we're going to be going out with Bryden Thomason, who's the director of it, for otters. And Shetland's arguably the best place in the UK for otters. It's got the highest density of otters in the whole of Europe. So it's the best place to go for those and to see otters in the day. So looking forward to that. We're going to be doing hides. Not entirely sure what species we're going to do just yet, but there's a few options, and we're going to go through the do's and don'ts of hide photography and how to get the best pictures using a hide. As with any wildlife, it's all hit and miss, but we really want to do orcas. And last year, Shetland had a phenomenal orca season, lots and lots of orcas. So, fingers crossed, while I'm up there for 3 weeks, the orcas are going to put in an appearance and we're going to be able to detail them. And the nice thing as well is, although we've talked about all these techniques, I want to show that photography is a powerful tool for conservation. And particularly with orcas, one of the things you do is photograph the fins and the patterns, and you can identify orcas. Recently there was a humpback whale that was photographed in Shetland, and they got a picture of its tail. I think it was Bryden actually got a picture of its tail. And it was then photographed hundreds of miles away. I can't remember exactly where it was, but so it just goes to show that you can track the movement of these species if you get a good picture. So it just goes to show that photography is a fantastic tool for conservation. So that's basically a brief kind of overlook of some of the things about the project. We've still got plenty of time, so I'm not sweating just yet. But yeah, hopefully it'll happen and we can really bring wildlife exposed to the small screen.